Level 42's Mark King on running off with wife's best friend and partying with Madonna Mirror Online. Exclusive: the legendary bassist has opened up on sex, drugs, and going on the road with Madonna. As the scintillating bassist in one of planet's hottest bands, Mark King spent the 80s living it up till the sun went down. There were parties with Madonna and Tina Turner, private jets, Aston Martins, and adoring women offering lessons in love. They were hedonistic. We were selling out 21-night runs at Wembley, jetting to LA, flying back for Top of the Pops, then off to shows in Munich and New York. Mark recalled a real wow moment in 1986 on the Tuscan coast. He said, "I was in the bar in my shorts, having a beer with my bandmate Boone Gould and watching beautiful Italian women with very little on strolling along the beach. Then our tour manager came in and said, 'Guys, Lessons in Love has just gone to No1 in Germany.' I thought, but our album, Running in the Family, gave us real legs, so the singles just kept on charting." 30 years on, Mark, 60, is still performing those hits and introducing Level 42 to a new generation. In September, the band will join Kool and the Gang, Heather Small and the brand new Heavies at the Electric Soul Festival in London's O2. And they're booked to play another 19 festivals this summer. But Mark was hit hard in April by the death of Level 42's original guitarist Boone Gould, aged 64. With Boone's brother Phil and keyboardist Mike Lindup, Level 42's jazz-funk fusion was a key part of the 80s soundtrack, and they went on to sell 31 million records worldwide. They were often overshadowed by Duran Duran and Spandau Ballet, but their music was always on another level thanks to Mark. He developed a fantastic slap and pop bass style, slapping the fretboard with his nifty left hand and popping strings at machine gun pace with his right thumb. A thumb which, at the height of his fame, was insured by Polydor Records for £3 million. So when Mark, which looks disappointingly normal. Does it? Did you expect it to be gold-plated and resting on a velvet cushion? No, I thought, I tape it up when I play, he said, because back in 1981 I split it open after doing 13 back-to-back shows in Holland. I bled all over here. He was dubbed Thunder Thumb, yet he started out as a drummer. Growing up on the Isle of Wight with his two siblings, he got his first drum kit at 9 and, by 11, was playing in a band called Pseudofoot for £5 a gig. He taught himself bass to get a job in a guitar shop. With so many he admitted he was a bad student but never doubted he could earn a living as a musician, even though he took a milk round for a while and did it wearing a Stetson and a replica gun in homage to Clint Eastwood. He said, "But being blonde and 5'8" I realize I was probably more Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West U, which maybe is why I never got any bored housewife offers." In 1979, Level 42, named after the meaning of life number in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, was formed. They were soon spotted and signed with Polydor. In 1980, that led to tours with Steve Winwood, Queen, Tina Turner, and Madonna, a string of hit albums and singles such as The Chinese Way, The Sun Goes Down, Living It Up, Something About You, and Leaving Me Now. Fame brought huge wealth, a jet-set lifestyle, and adoring female fans, but Mark was married at 22. With his Dutch wife Pia, he had 2 daughters and a son, Flory, now 36, Darcy, 34, and Jolie, 30. But 10 years in the marriage ended when Mark started going out with his wife's best mate Ria. He said, "We were really very grown up about it. We all still live on." Mark admitted he splashed the cash like every successful musician in the money-mad 80s. He said, "I've always been a spender, because I am confident I'll always make money. I bought a lot of obviously, a couple of Aston Martins and an 18-karat gold Cartier watch like the ones Elton and Eric Clapton had. It cost 6, but I'd grown up wearing a Timex and felt a bit of a wally wearing it. I even bought a pub on the Isle of Wight and called it Joe de Flo's, a mix of my kids' names. And he enjoyed partying with other big name stars. He said Tina Turner was lovely. She'd take us all out another time, on tour in America. Madonna came to he said yeah, there were a lot of drugs, but I am quite a speedy person and never enjoyed it that much. I like drinking. Fortunately, level-headed Mark is still living it up, and there's no sign of the sun going down just yet.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.